Today I want to turn the camera on and just talk to you guys about coach abilities, man. No testing, but just want to talk about a bunch of stuff I learned about coaching archetypes over the past 2 years, doing a lot of tests, man. I've done a lot of tests over the past 2 years, but in this video, I just want to talk about what I learned. If y'all enjoy this style of content, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all boys. I really do. Check out the ebook. And let's hop into the video. So first off, man, the more testing I do on coach abilities, I think the more disappointed I get with the coach abilities, honestly, man. I just think they're underwhelming. And maybe it was only me, but coming into the year and coming into last year also, I just thought these coach abilities would be absolutely game changing. And that's not the case. Maybe you could argue some of them game changing, but none of them are like, oh, you absolutely need this. Oh, this is the one best thing in the game. It's not any of that. It's nothing overpowered. There's no coachability that's overpowered. Is there a best coachability? I don't even think it's that. You have your favorites, man. Like, for example, I personally do not like Scheme Guru. It could be useful. The next guy could absolutely love it. Is Scheme Guru complete trash? I don't think so. I just think it's too specific for my playstyle and, increased catchability for passes 10 yards or less. It's only that small window for this one coach ability that is expensive to get. So you have to get, pretty much tier 2 to get this to be more useful. And I don't love that, man. It just costs a lot. But the next guy might absolutely love Tactician now, or Scheme Guru, I should say, because regular Tactician I do like. Then I also asked the question, does Tactician Scheme Guru version, does this affect simulation? And when I say simulation, that's where you just sim a whole week and you don't even hop into the game whatsoever. I know it affects when you actually play the game, but when you just sim, I don't think so. And the reason I say that because from my testing, player abilities don't affect simulation whatsoever. And we done a test with a defensive lineman and he got the same amount of sacks when he had max abilities compared to when he had no abilities. So we know that don't really affect just simming games. Now, when you play the games, that's different. So I question if Scheme Guru affects simulation. And if it doesn't affect simulation for me, it makes it a whole lot less useful. If you're a guy that's playing every single second of the game, obviously you don't care if it affects simulation, but also does it affect slow sim, or when you play the moments? Because a lot of you guys play the moments. I like to play the moments for my live streaming series. I might want to go down Scheme Guru, but if this does not have an impact when I'm simming, and I'm only playing the moments, and the moments, you're only playing, 10, 15 snaps a game? All the other snaps, the Scheme Guru could not be in effect. But I would have to do testing to really find out. But the latest ability I've done testing on is going to be this Elite Recruiter. And in my head, Elite Recruiter is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Now, the Tier 4 version, I do believe is the best ability in all of Recruiter. Now, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, from the video I dropped the other day, it seemed like it don't do that much. It really don't, man. I could not really tell the difference. I could tell a small difference, but I could not really tell the difference, man. And I'm like, yo, I thought this was a phenomenal, or the combo of all three of these abilities essentially should boost your interest each week. All three of these abilities should have some type of boost. You should be able to get players faster. Your interest bar should move further, faster with these three abilities. And for my test, it was so small how it wasn't even worth it in my opinion. These first three versions. Now the Tier 4 version is the selling point for Elite Recruiter, but the issue is it's a tier 4 ability. You have to buy the first versions and it costs 12 a pop. So you're spending so much to get this just on one person, just on one position group. And is it really worth it? Probably. But then there's also, at what point do we allow the coach to be uncapped, man? First off, shout out to you if you got your coach to coach level 100. Shout out to you. But at what point do we just uncap it and allow you to get to level 1,000 and get every single coach ability in the game? Like, if you're going to play that much, if you're going to go that far in the Dynasty, don't put a cap on it, man. Like, I have no idea why, have no cap. If you're going to play that long, let them be the GOAT of coaches. Let them be Nick Saban times 10 if that's what they want to be. But so I don't love the cap idea, but that's another topic. Now, the regular recruiter, I feel like it's also not that useful. Now, tier 1 ability is interesting because I think this is the best thing in auto recruiter other than the tier 4 ability in elite recruiter. Like, I think this tier 1 ability is better than, the boost this tier 1 ability for elite recruiter. I think it's better than all of this stuff. I think the two best abilities in both elite recruiter and regular recruiter is going to be always be Cruton and then also advanced look. Me personally, I think those are the best two. And I'm not sure if that should be the case. Because if you ever had a coach or a coaching staff with no tier 1 ability, recruiter ability, it is terrible. Brutal. It is terrible, man. It takes you 5 clicks. That's 50 hours to scout a guy with no recruiter. That sucks. That absolutely sucks, man. When you're a team that only has 450 hours because you're a 1-star, that's not working out. You could scout literally 5 players and you tapped out. Like, that does not work. You need to have this recruiter ability, this tier 1 ability. And if you're able to have it on multiple coaches, all 3 coaches, game changing. I think that's one of the best things in the whole entire game is having this. But it's like, damn, the next best thing is tier 4, always be Cruton, and the elite recruiter. Come on, man, what we doing? And maybe it's because I haven't done enough testing with these 1 through 3 abilities right here with the elite recruiter. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. Last video, that turned me all the way off from elite recruiter, man. I'm not going down that way whatsoever. Unless I just went to tier 4, because like I said, tier 4 is pretty good. Being able to put the hard sell on, and then also the 25 hours to contact family and friends, chef kiss. That's the best thing in the game when it comes to recruiting. But other than that, it's like that archetype or that section is just, I don't want to say useless, but it's like I would rather avoid it. Now, talent developer, done some testing with this stuff, and it's okay. Not game changing, not amazing. It's okay. It's literally just okay. And I think that's what I had to get through my head. It's like all of the coach abilities are just okay. Nothing is amazing. Nothing is super game changing. Master motivator, regular motivator, tier 3 ability and regular motivator is the selling point. The other 3, I'm not really that interested in. I don't really care that much about. Now, the tier 1 ability used to be overpowered at the start of the year, but they nerfed it. And I'm be honest, I haven't done testing after they nerfed it. So maybe this tier 1 ability is still useful, but they nerfed it. It's probably not all that good. The tier 3 ability, you're getting around 2 additional skill points, somewhere in that ballpark, around 2 from my testing. And that's with 1 coach. If you get it on multiple coaches, then it go up to 4 with 2 coaches, 3 coaches. It should go up to 6 from my testing. So for all of this, if you want a coach ability to be very good, elite, you have to have it on more than 1 coach. You have to have it on more than 1 coach. You're able to get it on all 3 coaches. All right, now we're talking about something that's overpowered. And if you come over here to strategist, I think this is one of my favorite coach abilities in the game. It's been one of my favorite all year. And it's the Mind Reader Tier 4 ability. Increased chance to learn development trait when scouting. This is game changing because development trait is absolutely everything in this game for a player. Development trait, the better development trait, the better the skill caps, and the better he's going to develop. The difference between a star development guy and a normal, tremendous. Not even close, man. The difference between a star and impact also is a big gap. It's a big gap, man. When you see a guy with normal development, remove him. I don't think you should ever purposely bring in a guy with normal. Unless you're just a 1-star school, a bad school, and you're just trying to get by with anybody. But if you see that development trait, and with this tier 4 ability from my testing, you're seeing it around a 30% clip per coach. So if you have 2 coaches, that increased to 60. If you have 3 coaches, 90. And now you're talking about something that's maybe overpowered. Every single, quarterback you scout, damn near 90%, you could see what their development trait is. That is so game changing, man. You could literally scout 5 quarterbacks and, oh, well, this one is the star development. The other one's the impact. All right, bet, cool. I know who my guy is. Like, it's so good. Now, the rest of these abilities, I haven't done testing on them, so I'm not going to say if they're good or bad yet because I haven't tested the tier 1, 2, or 3 ability. But I'm here for the tier 4 version of the strategist. That was my only selling point to go by strategist. Now, the requirement to unlock some of these abilities, I think, is a little bit steep, personally. Win 5 playoff games for program builder, and you get inside here, and it's okay. I'm not going to say it's the best thing in the world. I think the best thing that it has to offer is the relationship builder and the strong roots. I think these two are 100% worth it. 100%. This is the only way to really improve your pipelines, and it helps out a lot when it comes to recruiting. But for me, it's like when you're at this point of winning 5 playoff games, you don't even need this. Like you really don't. You don't even need this at that point. Now, it could be useful, but if you won 5 playoff games, you're probably not having a tough time recruiting, and you probably don't really need it. You might be even better off getting this tier 3 ability, Delayed Sunday, all these abilities where players are less likely to go pro. And if you win in 5 playoff games, you probably got a lot of guys trying to leave early to go pro. So you almost better getting this roster retention ability, man. Like, that's going to help you actually win faster now because your roster is going to stay good for longer. And you're also going to be able to bring in good guys because your pro potential is still going to be high. Their overall is going to get higher. So, for example, if you have a guy that's trying to leave early as a 3rd round draft pick, well, if he leave early, that might only make the pro potential grade go up to a B- if he leave as like a 3rd or 4th round pick. Well, if you bring him back, he develop an extra year. Now his senior year, he gets up to a higher overall. Now he's a 1st round draft pick. Now that pro potential is up to an A, if that makes sense. So all of this, helps each other out. Now, I think this one is like coach family. It's cool. I just think, nah, we don't need it. Coordinators are less likely to leave in the coaching carousel. Not that big of a deal to me, man. Like, this is not game changing compared to, some of this other stuff. And then the last one, man, increase the caliber of coordinators available for you to hire. I gotta see how significant that is, but also don't seem like a coachability I would want to buy, just wouldn't. And then you get into the CEO, and it's like, it's some good stuff in here, but 2 national championships, that's a tall task. And then you also got to save up enough points to even unlock this. It costs 35 to unlock, and then when you finally get in here, everything costs 16, but you only got to buy it once, which is good. Now, this senior one right here, increase all skill caps by 1 for rising seniors. I like that ability for small programs, but as you get bigger and you're bringing in better players, a lot of guys don't even reach all these skill caps, and if they are reaching all these skill caps, they probably end up getting drafted before their senior year. But this one is still useful. It is, but like I said, not that game changing in my opinion, because oftentimes you have a lot of players not even close to their skill caps by senior year. But it just all depends on the program and what you're doing for that one. Now, this one right here, man, gain additional interest for every 10 hours spent. I need to do some testing on this. Last year, everyone was saying this was the best ability. This one was the game-changing one. This was, I think, tier 2 in recruiter last year, and obviously they took out recruiter, put it in CEO. I really need to do testing on this to see how good it is. If y'all have used it, please let me know. But I need to test it. I really do, to see if it's absolutely game-changing. Here, spend a second persuasion on the player if the first one fails. I honestly don't think that's worth it. I personally don't, man. This is going to be, probably most useful with the transfer, or with guys leaving early for the NFL, because as your program go on, you have less and less guys looking to transfer out. So this one is really for the NFL, but it's always like such a slim chance to even get guys to return. It just is, man. Like, it's always low, extremely low. So even having a second chance might not even be all that useful. It's some good stuff here, man. It is some good stuff here. Increase the chance that player upgrades their development trait in the offseason, pretty much is what this one is. This one is good. Also got to do testing to see how frequent this is. But this one is a tough one to test. It's going to be a little bit challenging to test this just because it's random when guys increase development. I did a whole video on how to increase development trait for a player, and we figured out that is almost random. First, they have to have a good year, and then it's RNG. It's literally just a random number generated. Sometimes they will get the development trait to increase. Sometimes they won't. Even if they put up the same exact stats, it's just random. So, this one, I wonder how much it increased the percentage. I would love for them just to tell us everything. It's so much room under the words. It's one sentence. It's so much room underneath. Just tell us. This is it's increasing by 15%. It only applies in the off season when you advance the training results. This, that, and the third. Like, just tell us all of the information that's behind the scenes that EA know. Just tell us, man, so we know everything. Why not? And for example here, Dream School, chance at insta-commit when offering a scholarship as their top school. This one makes it seem like if you don't have this ability, you can't get insta-commits, but you can. But here, it should say increased chance. It should, in my opinion. But, also, what is this increased chance? Is it a 10% increase? Is it a 20% increase? I don't know. Just let us know everything. Only ability I haven't talked about so far is the Architect. And I'm be honest, at the start of the year, I didn't really like Architect. With more testing, I think this tier 3 ability is the whole, point of Architect. Increase or chance to increase the random skill cap when leveling up. What is leveling up? Great question, man. I had to figure out leveling up is when you purchase a skill for that player. For example, if you have a quarterback, if you increase his accuracy, that's considering leveling up. Well, personally, I consider leveling up when he just unlock additional skill point. I consider that leveling up. I would consider, when he increases his accuracy, I would consider that progressing, personally. But that's why more information is better. So this ability is solid, man. This one is actually solid. It's around, I don't want to be wrong, I think for my testing, around 10%, might have been just under 10% of the time. Somewhere in that ballpark, man. I'll have to go look back at my notes. But this one is useful. I do think this one is useful. If you're able to get this on multiple coaches, this is a solid ability. And what I like about it is, it'll usually increase a skill cap that you need increase. For example, if you had speed maxed out and you can't, increase it no more because the skill caps, well, if you just progress, something else, oftentimes it'll uncap that speed, which is useful. But it is random. It's RNG, man. It's RNG what it uncaps and, how often, obviously, as I said, it's around 10%, all just RNG. But point is, in this video, like I said, I learned a lot of stuff. And the one thing I have to constantly remind myself, none of these coach abilities are going to be absolutely game changing when you just have it on one coach. When you're able to get it on multiple coaches, that's when it becomes good. That's when it becomes phenomenal. That's when that ability is game changing. If you're able to get, elite recruiter on all your coaches, okay, well, now you're talking about putting in 80 hours for a guy and you're not losing the recruitment. I promise you. If you put 80 hours in, you're never losing that recruitment for a guy, man. You're just not. If you're able to get strategists, that mind reader ability with all three coaches, and you're able to see that development trait 90% of the time, game changer. Like I said, it's rare to get the same ability on all three coaches, but if you do, very, very good in this game. But other than that, the coaches are borderline mid when they're bottom selves. And y'all let me know your opinion of that, man. I don't think I love that. I'd rather be able to do my thing with my head coach and have my offensive coordinators all be, okay, I have a coordinator that's good with recruiting. I have another coordinator that's good with development. And I have my coordinator that do whatever I want to do with that, or my head coach do whatever with that. But no, I feel like you better off kind of having specialized coaches, or if that makes sense, man. Having coaches that overlap with the same abilities. I feel like you damn near better having that. But please, let me know y'all boys' thoughts down below, man. If y'all enjoyed this content, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all boys, and we on to the next one.